Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League and let's see what team we're going to be trying out. Looks like we're going to be using the Toxapex paired with the Diggersby and the Clodsire in the back. So double ground in the back, kind of protecting against the Toxapex electric weakness. They reveal the Earthquake on the Licky, which we can tank. We fire off the Sludge Wave, does some huge damage, and then we're going to switch on to the Diggersby. They're going to have the Talonflame waiting for us. Unfortunately, don't really have anything too good for this Talonflame, so we're just going to chip away with our Scorching Sand. But you can see right here, Scorching Sand still dealing a good amount of damage with the addition of the quick attacks from the Diggersby. We are going to shield here so that we can farm it down. Now we expect the Licky to come back in. Now we're going to fire off this Fire Punch to take it out immediately. And now we see the Abomasnow in the bag. This is going to be tricky, but we are at least going to be able to fire off this Fire Punch to at least get one shield back. Forcing our opponent to use some energy here. They go for the Energy Ball, so they're relatively energy dry. Luckily, we do have the Poison Sting, and we're just applying a lot of fast move pressure. They go for a Weather Ball here. We can survive one. We're going to go for the Stone Edge. It does grab that shield, and now it's just a race to the move. They get to the move, but we do have a shield, and we are at a move, so we are going to be able to take them out. So GG's to our opponent. The Clodsire ended up clutching it up for us, taking out the Abomasnow, mainly because of the fast move pressure, but getting to those Stone Edges helps breaking down the shields. All right, we got the Clodsire versus the Toxapex, and not the matchup we want, so we matched them with our own Clodsire. They have the energy advantage, but we know that we can tank one. Earthquake does get used, does roughly 50%. We see Malamar. Malamar coming in is interesting. They are going to try to get to a move here. We are going to let this go, and that was great timing by our opponent. And now we have an opportunity to farm down. We know that this is going to be the foul play. Looking for the farm down. We do get the farm down. We anticipate the Clodsire to come back in. No Clodsire. Ends up being the Dunsparce. Dunsparce coming back in here versus the Toxapex. We do grab a shield, and then we're going to go into our own Diggersby. We tank the Drurun. We can tank the Drurun so much better with the Diggersby. We fire off the Scorching Sand, no debuff, so we're going to have to expend one shield right here. Our opponent is going to be able to get to another move though, so that's fine as long as we build up a ton of energy. Drurun doesn't take us out. We're going to go for another Scorching Sand. Barely doesn't take him out, and we are able to farm down, and that's really bad news for our opponent because we have enough energy to throw a Scorching Sand. They have to shield that. We are going to get to another Scorching Sand. This is not going to KO, but do roughly 20%. And then we're going to switch out immediately here, forcing them to go for Earthquake. So there's Earthquake energy there. And then we come back in with our Diggersby. We know we have to shield this no matter what. Even if it's a bait, that's fine, because we're going to be able to get to the Scorching Sand again. And it's going to be enough to take it out from that range. So GG's to our opponent. Able to win that game with the Diggersby mainly. The Diggersby closing the game for us was fantastic. Core breaking the Clodsire and the Dunsparce. Alright, next game. We got the Toxapex versus the Hypno. Not the matchup we want. We're going to go into the Diggersby immediately. We force out, what is that? Marowak. Marowak is interesting. It's not really dealing a lot of fast move pressure, but it tells us that they don't really have an answer for this Diggersby. So we're going to apply the pressure. We're going to go for another Scorching Sand here. We do grab a shield. We're going to match them because we think that we can get to another move. Perfect. We do get to another Scorching Sand. Let's see what they end up doing here. They decided to let it go, so we did flip the switch. We see the Hypno come back in, and then we're going to throw this Scorching Sand before they can farm us down. We don't get the debuff, so we're just going to switch out here, forcing them to use some energy. They reveal Shadow Ball. So that's an interesting move because traditionally they potentially could have Thunder Punch, but they're basically saying they don't have Thunder Punch. We're going to fire off a Brine here. Barely doesn't take him out, and we force out the Dunsparce. Dunsparce is gonna be able to farm us down, but we're gonna, they're not gonna farm us down, we're gonna switch out, but we do get the brine off. So we chip away at that health. We're gonna shield early here because we already have a shield to use. And now it just comes down to energy management. We're gonna go for the Stone Edge bait here. We do grab that shield. And now we know we can tank one more draw run. And now it's just going to come down to throwing this energy efficiently. We see the Earthquake goes through, takes out the Dunsparce, and we see the Hypno barely have any health left, and we do KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Clodsire at the end. Honestly, the Diggersby did more work than I anticipated. All right, we got the... Ooh, is this the Galarian Corsola? Pretty rare to find right now as they're exclusive to egg hatches. Unfortunately, it is kind of a core breaker because we are not really dealing a lot of fast move pressure with the Toxapex, and our Diggersby has a normal fast move which is going to get resisted. So unfortunately, we're just going to do our best to chip away at it and then switch out. Eventually, we see the Clodsire is going to have to tank these Night Shades, and then we get met with a Azumarill. So looks like it was kind of a alignment game. I don't see us coming back from this, especially since the Azumarill still has 2 shields. We are going to try to get an Earthquake off. Maybe we get this Earthquake. Okay, potential farm down. And then we're just going to have to let this go. Come in with our Toxapex here to look for the farm down. We do get the farm down at least. And then we're going to switch out into the Diggersby, and they have the Talonflame. So every street that we switched out to, they just had a hard counter to. This matchup here isn't necessarily a hard counter, but they have the advantage, especially since we only have Scorching Sand to throw. They go for the Brave Bird there, dealing some huge damage. We're just going to be able to get one more Fire Punch off here. It does take him out, but you can see Corsola is able to farm us down, and now I'm just going to have energy for another nice shade. And they're going to be able to take us out right there. So GG's for opponent. That's a tough team to come back from, especially with a Corsola lead that we really have no answer for. All right, Dugong lead here is manageable. We definitely don't want to see it in the back, so at least we see it here. Both of us are dealing some okay fast move pressure. We fire off the Sludge Wave. It does grab the shoe early, interesting. They go for the drill run, so we're going to show that as well. And then it's going to be all about the timing here. They're going to be able to get to another move. Ends up being the drill run, that's fine. And then we're going to fire off another Sludge Wave. This is going to get some huge damage or get that shield. It allows them to live with a sliver of health. They take us out, but that's as good as it's going to get because we didn't want to see that in the back. We see the Superior in the back. At least it's matched up against our Clodsire. Go for the Stone Edge to do some neutral damage. We know that they have to get to 2 moves, so this Frenzy Plant will not KO, but the next one... Okay, maybe the next one won't either from this range. We can survive another one. And then we're going to overfarm. Fire out this Stone Edge here to either get a shield or take it out, and then just hope for the best. And then we see the Talonflame again, so... Unfortunately, Talonflame here, we're going to have to deal with. They do go for the Flame Charge, which is a little bit better for us because now they are only ramping up with their Incinerates and not necessarily initial big damage. We're going to fire off another Scorching Sand. This does get them low enough. They don't shield it. And we're going to be able to farm down. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.